Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Some days back, it was viral that the Delta government or Delta State Assembly was looking into, wedding in between the Fulani herdsmen and the farmers living in Delta State. Hence, some of the land use being looked into a situation where they were looking at giving 5,000 square meter to Fulanis so that they can at least, stay in a position in a particular location and practice ranching instead of open grazing. Of course, they went further to reject. The Fulani herdsmen in that area rejected, insisted they wanted 30,000 square meter, in each local government area of Delta State. But right now, the farmers are beginning to cry out. A lot of things are happening, and in a moment we're going to get the full details of all this. But before we do so, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, according to Punch, some suspected Fulani herdsmen are allegedly holding some farmers hostage in Obiaroko, Ogwani local government area of Delta State. It was gathered that some of the farmers were chased away from their farmlands, which the herders took over, while the others were held hostage. It was also learned that the incident, which occurred as at Saturday, had raised tension in the community as the residents gathered on Thursday discussing the fate of the farmers who had yet to come back home. Residents of the community who spoke to our correspondent said the tension generated by the herdsmen had escalated as they allegedly took over farmlands, seized food items from farmers, and held some hostage in their hometown. It was gathered that vigilantes and youth had stormed the bushes on a rescue mission, while residents of Obiaruku called on the relevant authorities to intervene urgently to avert a possible bloodbath. An indigene of the community, who simply identified himself as UT, stated that farmers had refused to return to their farms since Saturday when the incident occurred. UT stated the herdsmen held the farmers hostage, drove the Obiaruku people from their farms, and put their cows on the farms to eat up cassava and other crops. The people are no longer going to their farms, that one I can ascertain. One of the farmers, Mrs. Maria Obinta, said, "My own farmland, the crops have been destroyed by the herders. I am no longer going to the farm to harvest my cassava because cows have eaten up the crops." Yes, some people were held hostage. The chairman of the local government was in Asaba to speak to the commissioner of police about the matter. The chairman said he was consulting with security operatives to know what to do so that the people being held hostage can be released. It is almost getting to a week now. People are no longer going to farms. The herdsmen are heavily armed, so we are afraid. When contacted, the police public relations officer in the state, DSP Edafe Bright, said the report about the incident has not been brought to his notice. For now, we are not aware. There is nothing like that. If anything like that happened, they should report to the police, he stated. However, the chairman, Okwani Local Government Council, Mr. Possible Ajide, confirmed the incident and said security agents and community leaders were already on top of the situation. Ajide frowned on the resurgence of the unwholesome activities of herdsmen after a lull. He said due to the rapid response of a combined team of the police and local vigilantes, 8 persons earlier held hostage by the herdsmen had been rescued, adding, however, that 3 natives of the town were still being held. Ajide stated, "It is painful that you are going to your farm only to meet armed herdsmen with their cattle eating your entire investment. When we came on board in March, we invited the leaders of the Fulani herdsmen for a meeting, and after that meeting, they appeared to be on holiday. But we heard recently about the hostage and the menace of the herdsmen, so we mobilized our security operatives into the bush. When they saw the operatives, they abandoned the hostages and took to their heels. Mm, this is so sad. For how long will Nigerians continue like this? One minute you're thinking of giving them a little portion, and you give them a mile, they say you give them just a little space, they say they want not just a mile, they want the whole hectare. You say you want okay, they say they want a place where they can, ranch and do all the necessary things. They give them 5,000, you know, square square meter, yeah, 5,000 square meter. They insisted that they wanted 30,000 from each community. How nice or benevolent can the southern governors or southern elders be? And this is actually in Delta State. The question is, the southern part of Nigeria, do they even have enough land to even give or seed to the Fulanis in the name of cattle rearing? We have gone beyond this whole issue of how can some people plant and all of a sudden the investment is going to trickle of an eye, and they keep saying this over and over again that they don't carry arms. We keep hearing it every day, and the informations are not palatable at all. Let us feel the pulse of Nigerians. Of course, Nigerians are reacting, and this one here is saying, how many times will your people are caught with Fulani? I don't know what I was trying to write. Honestly, I'm trying to read hard. This one here says, this is what the governors in the southeast want when they set the army against their people who were on ground to chase away the herdsmen. Honestly, based on what we are even hearing, it's almost becoming, it's as if the ESN group, honestly, if you look at their trail, based on what they have been doing thus far, you now realize that these guys are actually looking out for their people. Look at what is happening. The vigilante actually are being formed. Now people are almost reluctant to call out to the security personnel. You can imagine what it is. People are saying that when that happened, they had to mobilize their own vigilante, and of course, some policemen, security personnel around, and some other ones who seem not to know exactly what is happening in the community are saying that they are not even aware. For how long are we going to do this? We keep paying taxes, and some of those taxes are meant for protection of lives and property, good roads, pipe-borne water. Are we going to continue like this? Like, really? If farmers stop going to farm, we have a steaming population, over 200 million Nigerians. And if farmers don't go to farm, are we going to be importing food with already terrible inflation rates happening in Nigeria, with all the debt that is almost wallowing the whole next generation? Is that how we're going to live in this country? Let's